everyone, and welcome back to Aloha Jen's Beauty Blog. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Jen and I am a licensed esthetician in the state of California. So welcome to tonight's Spring Reset series video. This is episode number 8, and we are going to do a Pico Toner treatment using the facial toning pads. Before I get into this video, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things. So I already cleansed my skin with the NeoGenesis Cleanser. Now I'm going to go in with some skin serum. So what I'm going to do here tonight is I'm first going to go in with the Mann Lift Probe on P2. Just to, go ahead and stimulate my skin. I haven't used the Pico Toner in a couple of days, and so I want to do P2 really quick, maybe like 10 minutes, and I'm just going to use it like the Anma. So, and then we'll do the facial toning pads on P1. Now, before I get into this treatment, I have a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. So going forward here on the channel, I will no longer be working with 70 Wellness and MyoLift devices. If you guys are on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen it. I don't really want to talk about it here because it's a very, very touchy subject, but I've decided to end my partnership with them. And going forward, the microcurrent device of choice for me is going to be the Neurotris Pico Toner. Now, I love the Pico Toner. I think it's amazing. I'm kicking myself for not picking it up sooner. I see more of a difference in my skin with one treatment versus 4 treatments of a MyoLift device treatment. Now, the Pico Toner is for those who I like to say are serious about microcurrent and have the time. Because as you know, there is no quick way to do microcurrent. The quickest way you're going to be able to perform it is either by the facial toning pads or a Mann lift. There's no handheld option for this. So it takes time, consistency, and patience. So in my opinion, if you have a MyoLift Mini at home and you don't use it, you probably won't use the Pico Toner, okay? Or if you're thinking about the MyoLift Mini and you are thinking about picking it up, but you don't know if you're going to use it, same thing. If you don't know if you're going to use it, then you probably won't use the Pico Toner. However, it is amazing, amazing, amazing. I love it. So if you watched my last video, when I did the treatment with the gloves for the hand and arms, and I mentioned about the positive and the negative. So for the Mann lift, it does not matter whether it's positive or negative. Where positive and negative is going to come in is more so the facial toning pads, the gloves, and the infinity probes. And I would say definitely the facial toning pads and the infinity probes, but they said with the glove, it doesn't really matter, but they prefer you to use negative over positive because the positive is what you're using to push and the negative is just sitting on top. So they like to say, think of it as the positive pushing the negative away. But with your Mann lift, it doesn't matter. And I would just pay attention to that when you're using the probes, the facial toning pads, and the gloves, okay? So I wanted to point that out there, but if you have the Mann lift and you're worried about that, you do not have to worry about that. So I found that out. So I ordered the facial toning pads. They're here. There's 4 in each pack, okay? Now, when you order your pack, you get a pack of 24. And these are reusable. They call them like the butterfly, okay? So when you have your Pico Toner, if you do not pick up the quad cable, this is gonna the quad cable allows us to use 4 of the facial toning pads at the same time. A positive and a negative here, a positive and a negative here, or a positive and a negative here, positive, negative in here, positive and a negative here for a cheek lift. So if you are considering the facial toning pads to use on your face in the sections, you want to pick up the quad cable. And when you pick up the quad cable, you get a second Pico Toner port cable, okay? Because you can do a couple of treatments at the same time, but just take into consideration, so if you're doing the facial toning pads and you want to use the glove, you may have to increase your intensity because it will take away from the intensity of the other port. And that's the same thing like when you have a Jane Mann lift. If you have two that you're using at the same time, you are probably going to have to increase the intensity on the Pico Toner. All right, so let's get into this treatment. Like I said, I'm gonna go into the Jane Mann lift right now, and we're just gonna use P2 on my face here. And I already have it hooked up to the Pico Toner. And since I'm just going to do this quick treatment with stimulating my collagen and elastin, moving out the stagnant fluid, hydrating those tissues, I'm just gonna leave my Pico Toner away from me on the counter, and I'm just gonna snap it here on the wristband. All right, so let's get into this, shall we? I think I just dropped something. All right, so first we're gonna do the Jane Mann lift treatment, and I am going to put on some gel. We're gonna start out at the chest, and I'm using the Neigenesis Glide Gel. I need to pick up some more of this. So I found a affordable peptide serum that you can use on your body on Amazon. It'll be here on Friday. I think it's like for 2 ounces, it's only like $24. They have 4 ounces and 8 ounces. I think the 8 ounces is like $40. So I started off with the 2 ounces just to see if I like it. And then we'll go from there with that, because I don't want to pick up too much if I don't like it. But then again, it's Amazon, you can return it. And I want to try to limit returning things because that's not very cool. All right, so here we go. Wipe off my hands. Now, I am having really bad allergies today, just so you guys know. That's the reason why my face is red. So I'm turning on my Pico Toner. So I'm going to go to P2, and I'm going to increase the intensity to 25. I'm going to stay at 25. Okay, 25. Okay, and then we're just going to come in here. Wow, that really dried up fast. It's kind of a little bit on the cooler side in my bathroom. So because it's hot today, like seriously, in California, I think we skipped spring and went straight into, we're just going straight into summer. It's weird. So all this week, it's like in the high 80s, and then next week it drops down into like the 50s and 60s again. It's like California weather can't make up its mind. So, yeah, and it's still really cold here in the morning too. So I ordered my infinity probes today along with the alligator clips. And like I said, I'm going to show you guys how to use all the attachments on the Pico Toner, because going forward, this is going to be the only microcurrent device that I'm going to be using, because I love it so much. Like ever since I have picked this up, I have never gotten so many compliments on my skin. So I did my Pico treatment I did on Saturday. My husband noticed a difference in my skin right away. My friends noticed my skin. And then when I went to work on Monday, oh my God, I got so many compliments on my skin from patients who I've never met before. And also my coworkers, they're like, did you do something different? And I really see a difference here in my jawline. I did this really good, program on Monday with the Mann lift, just playing around with it, freehanding with the Pico Toner. And I found this really great movement to lift your neck and your cheeks, and it really made a difference right here in this area. I've also switched to my Aura Lift. Since last week, I've been using the Aura Lift, the 5mm one, the pink one, which is the large one. I'm wearing that for a full hour, twice a day now, every third day. So but I noticed that this is picking up more since I did that lifting treatment with the Pico Toner. And I have to tell you, you can do this every other day. You can do it every 72 hours. You don't want to do this every single day. There's no need for it. I think it would actually be too much. So because it's too much stimulation, and you need to give your cells time to rest in between your microcurrent treatment, because if you're performing microcurrent every single day, you have those cells always constantly stimulating, and you're not giving them time to rest and regenerate. And that's why with the Pico Toner, they recommend that you perform a microcurrent every 72 hours, or at least skip a day in between. And because when you overstimulate your skin doesn't look so hot. You'll notice that your skin looks a little bit more saggy. It looks lifeless. You'll be able to see your flaws more. So just so you guys know, did I put gel on my neck? I can't remember. Oh well, we're just gonna go in with the moisture mist, and I'm gonna start working my neck. And I'm just gonna go up and down like I typically do with this. We're already 5 minutes in. I'm telling you, like the other day, I sat here and I did a full hour of the Pico Toner when I was freehanding, and it went by so fast. It was crazy. So with these toning pads, you're going to use it on program 1, which is lifting and toning. And what you're going to do is you place it, and you can leave it run. You can leave the Pico Toner run for 30 minutes and just do your thing, or you can leave it on for 10 minutes. You choose. But what you have to remember about the Pico Toner on program 1 is there's 2 programs. It goes into, 2 signals. So it goes into signal 1 for 10 minutes, and it switches over to signal 2 for 10 minutes, and then it switches over to back to signal 1 for 10 minutes. So if you don't want to do that long of a treatment, and say you just want to do like 5 minutes, so then you just keep it on P1. But if you want to do 10 minutes, so you could do 5 minutes on this side, 5 minutes on this side, come back and do 5 minutes on this side, 5 minutes on this side. You can switch it up, or you could sit there and do, once you hit 10 minutes, you can turn off and reset it if you don't want to go into P2. Now I have to play around with that. I haven't played around with that yet, so I have to do that. So we will be doing that. What Misha do? Okay, Misha, okay, I have to give Misha a treat really quick, okay? So, all right. Here you go, baby. Good girl. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to go over here, and you know what? I'm just gonna do some glides on the face, because I wanted this just to be a quick little session with this, because I don't really have a lot of time in between when I'm doing this facial treatment. Because what I would like to do is I would like to do the 4 on my jawline, and then come back and do 4 on my eyes to see. I was thinking what I could do is I could just do this half of my face with 2 right here and then 2 right here, and then we can come back and see the difference. I think I might, let's try that, and then, and see how that works. So I'm just going to swoosh my face, do these glides, stimulate that lymphatic fluid. And like I said, we're just going to do a quick one because that's all I really have time for, especially if I do half the face. At least I can pop the Pico Toner on my wrist while I'm cooking dinner if it runs too late. Yeah, so this way I'll do half of my face, and then this way we can see how it works out. Okay, so we're just gonna come here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take both of these and kind of go over my eye a couple of times. I'm carrying so much fluid around my eyes from allergies. So with the facial toning pads, you do not use any gel or anything, so I'm gonna have to wipe off this gel. What are you doing, Misha? You're being crazy over here. Okay, move up. So the facial toning pads are reusable. I don't know how many times. We'll have to play around with that and see. All right, almost done, guys. Okay. All right, so we're done with that. I'm gonna turn off my Pico Toner and I'm going to unhook my lift. I'm gonna set it aside to clean in a bit. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to wipe off the gel. I'm gonna wipe it off over here. It'll be interesting to see like if there's an actual difference with like the lift with just using the facial toning pads, because when other devices that have those microcurrent masks, like the mild lift devices, you don't see that much of a lift with them. So I'm curious to see how this is going to work. So this is a first impression try on, guys. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that dry. Make sure I don't have anything on my hands. And I'm going to show you how to hook this up. Okay, so we're going to do a quad cable. So I have my Pico Toner here. And I'm going to keep it on my left wrist. So let me hook it up first. Okay, so I plugged in a cable here. Now we have our positive and negative, okay? So when you get your quad cable, if you don't have this already, I'm sure you, if you have this already, you already know how to do this. So, all right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take quad cable. So we have a positive and a negative. So I'm gonna take red and match it up with red, and black and match it up with black. Okay, so we've done that. Now, so quad cable, you have positive and negative, positive and negative. So let me grab my things. When you order your facial toning pads, it comes with this manual and it shows you the different areas that you can put it on. There's like 3 areas, okay? So we're gonna do the eye area and we're gonna do that neck treatment focusing on this lower area, okay? All right, so let me grab my pads and hook them up. So with these, you wanna remember it's negative over positive. So I'm gonna put my negative one on and my positive, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place this on my neck here, okay? So I'm gonna place the negative, I'm gonna place it right about here because we're gonna lift the jowl. And then this one, you're going to place right about here, okay? And then my next set, I'm gonna place on my brow area. So, oops, I kind of, don't pull by the cord like I just did. All right, so I think I twisted these ones up. So, okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our negative one and we're going to place that right here above the brow. And then we're gonna take our positive, ooh, these are really sticky. And we're going to place this right here. Okay. All right, so we're all hooked up. And actually, I'm going to take this one and move it down a little bit because I have some hair here that it's getting caught in and I don't want it to get caught in my hair. So I'm just going to place it like, I don't want it to get caught in my eyebrow hair because it's pretty sticky. Okay. Then I got some hair over here too. Okay. All right, so we're all hooked up. My husband's probably gonna laugh at me. All right, so let me put on my Pico Toner wristband so I could just pop it on. Here. And I'm gonna do a 30-minute treatment, okay? So I'm gonna turn on my Pico Toner. It's gonna go to P1. I'm gonna come over here. And I'm going to turn it up to 25. I can feel it. Maybe more. think, let me try 30. Okay, I'm gonna try 30, all right? So I'll be back in 30 minutes and then we can see these on how it looks. I wonder if I should move this one up. I think I need to move this one up. So I'm gonna do that really quick. I think I need to place it like right here. It was too far down. Okay. All right, guys. So I will see you after this treatment is done and then we can compare, okay? So I will see you in a bit. Okay, everyone, I'm back and we're gonna remove these pads. So just so you know that when your Pico Toner shuts off, it does not beep or anything like that. It just shuts off. So you have to keep your eye on it. Also, when you're wearing it on your wrist, if you're, up and about doing anything while you're using the facial toning pads, you have to be careful that this does not get hit or knocked into the wall like I almost did. Okay, so let's take these off. So when you're taking these pads off, you want to make sure that you do not grip them by the wire. You want to lift up until the stickiness comes off. And I'm going to re-stick them on the pads so they're safe. Now, what I should have done is I should have turned these ones with the wires out so I can tuck them behind my ear. Okay, so I'm just gonna place these just very gently on the pad. We can take a look at my skin. And then I'm going to do the other side. All right, so let's take a look and see if we see a difference. My face is red. Okay, so what I notice is that this eye looks more open and awake. There is a program to where you can just do a brow lift too, by the way. And then I noticed that this side of my jaw definitely looks a little bit more defined and toned, okay? So now, of course, to really make an impact on that lift, that's where when you would go in with the probes or the gloves or the Mann lift. Now, I'm gonna show you the correct placement for these right now on my other side. So I'm going to put one right here above my brow. And we just want to make sure it's not on our brow hairs or in our hairline. Okay, so that's the negative. Now we're going to go in with the positive. Okay. Okay, put that underneath there just to work on the eye area. And then we're going to go in with our negative and we're going to put this right here on our, like above our jawline. Oops. So I'm going to tuck this behind my ear. So we're going to take this and put it right here. Okay. And then I'm going to take the positive and I'm going to place it just a little bit below that. Okay. All right, so and then I could take these and I can tuck them behind my ear if I wanted to. Okay, so, and just remember, because I'm using 25, it might not be the right intensity for you, as the Pico Toner senses skin impedance, and my skin impedance might be different than your skin impedance, okay? So now I'm going to turn on my Pico Toner. We're going to go into P1, and I'm going to go up to 25, okay? And it's going right now. Now, if you wanted to adjust it to where you feel it a little bit more, you can definitely do that. But I don't need to do that because I use 25 on the other side and it feels the same. So I'm going to leave it at 25, okay? All right, so I'm gonna finish this side and I'll be back and we'll take a look at my skin. So I'll see you in a few. Hey everyone, I'm back. I finished up this side just now, so we're gonna remove it. All right, so we're gonna start off on this side. And I'm going to immediately replace my facial toning pads back on the paper here. And you have a matte side and you have a shiny side. You want to place it back on the shiny side. So as I was doing this treatment, I was preparing dinner. And tonight what we're having is roasted cauliflower, rainbow cauliflower, and salmon. And I'm doing it all in my Ninja Speedy Cooker on the air fryer. But I have to cook the cauliflower separate from the salmon. So I went in with my cauliflower first on the air fryer mode, and I cooked it for 15 minutes. And then I'm doing the salmon 15 minutes, both at 350. It comes out so good. Trader Joe's sells this really good rub for salmon, and that's what I've been using. It is so, so good. And then, the cauliflower, I season with, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Flavor God seasonings, but I love them. They're really good seasonings. They're very low in salt and very flavorful. They're paleo, keto certified. Not that I'm paying attention to that, but they're so, so good. Okay, so here is my skin after. See, everything looks more, this looks even now. Everything looks more open and awake here. And then my jawline looks more defined. Now, of course, if we wanted this to be more of an intense, lift, that's where we would go in with the probes, the gloves, or the Mann lift. But this is a nice, alternative because I had things that I had to do this evening and I didn't have time to sit here and spend, an hour alone, lifting and toning. So I was able to get it all in one treatment. And of course, you don't have to spend an hour. You can do less time than an hour. But yeah, so looks pretty good. Now, one thing that I have noticed since I've been using the Pico Toner is my skin is definitely plumper and juicier. But my fine lines and wrinkles have considerably plumped up. Though this is a mark from my skin being with the facial toning bag because I'm a little bit dehydrated. So let me spray some NeoGenesis Moisture Mist on my skin. So what did I do? Okay, what was I gonna say? So on P1 program, the lifting and toning, it helps with fine lines and wrinkles. So I feel like I don't need to go in there with like 2 probes and work out those wrinkles. But Neurotris, their technique for working on fine lines and wrinkles, it's called erase. Like if you have the probes, you'd hold the negative and then you take the positive and then just come over here and erase. You could do that with the Mann lift balls too. You could take the Mann lift and you can go in circles like this and it will work on the fine lines and wrinkles and also sun damage as well. And then on your chest, you could take it and go right here and go in circles with it. Or you could take your probes, take one here and then go in circles with it to work on fine lines and wrinkles. And they also have a technique that helps with the neck bands too. So, okay, so here is my skin after. It looks really, really good. I have this beautiful glow as always. Every time that I use the Pico Toner, my skin always looks so glowing and radiant after. And it's like that for a few days after. Such an amazing device, and I wish I would have picked it up sooner. Sorry about that, guys. I kind of went on a tangent and I want to correct what I was going to say. So, as I mentioned, going forward, we will not be seeing any more videos with MyoLift microcurrent devices. Like I mentioned, I have decided to part ways with them. And if you follow along on Instagram, you'll see why. And that's where we're going forward with the Pico Toner. Now, if any of you have purchased the MyoLift microcurrent devices under my recommendation, I apologize that, you know, going forward, there's not going to be any more videos. And I've been working with those devices for 4 years, and I've pretty much taken it to where it's going to go here, okay? I've shown you everything that you could do with those devices. There's other people out here who create content around the MyoLift, and if they come out with anything new, I'm sure there's an influencer out there that will be creating content with it because they really like to work with big influencers for that sort of thing, new releases. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So going forward, microcurrent of choice is going to be Pico Toner. And like, I've been seeing such amazing results in my skin. I love it. I love everything about this device, and I see more of a difference in my skin using the Pico Toner than I have of any other microcurrent device that I've ever used. And I'm 100% being honest with you about this. So I'm going to show you all the different ways that you can use this device, and we're going to have so much fun with it. And I'm going to try to pop back on maybe this weekend and do a different type of video. I'm not for sure if I'm going to be able to do that though, because it's pretty hectic this weekend. I have a full schedule, plus I'm working Monday through Friday again next week. So that kind of makes my weekends kind of tight, and I have a lot of things going on this weekend. So we will see. If you see me, you see me. If not, it'll be sometime next week. So I am sending you all so much love and light. I want to thank you all for your continued support and all the love that you show me here. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. I need more likes for my videos. My videos aren't getting very many views. They're not being seen. And I need that in order for me to keep up with this channel. So make sure you give my videos a thumbs up. Also, one more thing before I go is I've gotten a couple of requests for me to do like a microcurrent series. And, you know, I don't know about that because my friend Maya from Microcurrent Love does that already. Maya also offers one-on-one microcurrent classes, guys. So if you're interested, go to microcurrentlove.com. I'll put it down here on the screen. She also has a Facebook group called Microcurrent Love. You can join that. And then, you know, Jane Mann has her upcoming challenge that's coming up that I'm going to be joining. And then she has like microcurrent with me on Mondays. And I don't want to steal from their ideas from this. And, you know, I'm the type of person, if I see it from someone else, I give credit where it's due. If I'm using it in my videos like a technique, I will give the credit where it's due. That's just the type of person I am. And I don't want to take away from anyone else, because I've had people use my tips for my skin consultations that are content creators out here and not give me any credit. They just say, oh, some esthetician from California. And if you've watched this person, you know who I'm talking about. And I no longer have any contact with her, actually. Quite, you know, disappointing when, you know, you work with people who you think are your friends and they steal your content, they steal your tips and tricks and don't give you credit for it. It's so disheartening. And I'm not that type of person. And I don't know. So we'll see what happens with my next series. However, I will be still doing microcurrent no matter what, and doing these videos so I could teach you guys on how to use these in a full demonstration versus a 5-minute clip and going wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and that's it, okay? All right, so I am going to end it here. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'm sending you all so much love and light, and have a beautiful rest of your week. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day.